Okay, looking around here, there are a couple of things. This tree has been around since I was a little kid. It's one of the features that to me are like permanent features, because I knew that tree. It was, of course, a much smaller.
It was much smaller than this.
Oh yes, it's grown over time. I mean, I'm talking about
60 years.
over 60 years. Yes. Yeah.
Because to me, like, ever since I was young, it has always been this.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've always thought, even for you people,
No, it was much smaller. Yeah. It's grown over time. So this is the land where I have grown. I mean, when I look around here, this is what makes me feel like me. Because there are so many little things that remind me of my childhood and make me connect with those very, very early beginnings as a little boy beginning to go to school. And we are at this point where the grave of my late father is, and you can see it out there. Like I said earlier, my father rested on the 2nd of December 1989. I was in Nairobi when I received a call from my cousin telling me that my dad had sent him to call me because he wanted to see me. And I remember telling my cousin, please tell me exactly what is happening, because my father has never ever sent somebody to call me. If he wanted me, he would always find a way of getting through to me. So please. But of course, he just insisted that indeed my father just wanted, to see me, and that he had requested him to come and call me. I left Nairobi, but I told Auntie Elsie that I am going to take enough clothing for a week, because something tells me that my father is no longer with us. And I drove all the way to Nairobi, hoping that when I finally get close to the homestead, I won't see many cars sort of parked around. And I thought if I see cars, then that would be the confirmation. On that day, as I came round the road across here, these trees were not as tall as they are, so I could see the cars from the road. And indeed, there were many cars that were parked on the road and inside the compound. And immediately, that confirmed to me that my father wasn't around with us. As I drove in, Uncle Gidendo was the first to meet me, and I just asked him, how did it happen? And he went on to explain how he was suddenly taken ill, and he was taken to the hospital. They rushed him to theater, and in a couple of hours, they said he had left. But my father, I remember him with a lot of fondness. He was a strong man. He was a man of integrity. He was a godly man. He loved his family intensely. He supported us. He inspired us. And he left a legacy of hard work, of honesty, of caring for one another. And a legacy that our own mother, who is still with us, has demonstrated over the years. So I look out here and I see his grave, and when I see his grave, I'm not filled with sadness. I am filled with a sense of gratitude that I knew the man who lies in that grave. And I know where he is now. He is with the Lord. And we are the ones that will finally find him there. So I thank God today, even as we come to remember his marriage to Shosho back on the 19th of April, 1952. And that's why we are here. That's how we got born. Hello, everyone. We are here at my mother's home, Shosho to some, Maito to others. And there are a lot of pictures here that have captured moments regarding this family and the history of this family. And we'll walk around and see what we can find. And perhaps this is a good place to start. We have a picture here that shows my father and my mother, and myself and my sister Leah. This picture, I believe, was taken in December of 1969. I was just about to move to Form 2, which means that my sister Leah was about to move to Form 3. And you can see Shushu and Guka just when they were much younger, and looking around, I see a picture here that also goes back to about that time. In this picture, we have my uncle, my mother's brother, Shosho's brother, Gabriel Wambogo, with his family, together with Shosho's sister, Nyokabi. And in this picture, we have our youngest, the last born in our family among my siblings, who's being held by my mother, by Shosho, and that is Auntie Wango, the baby in Shosho's lap. And next to her is Auntie Wamboi. And then we have uncle's children, the one sitting next to Wamboi, this boy, that's Gedendo, and Carol. Most likely the baby here is Lucy. And that must be back in 1968. Oh, there's a date, isn't there? Yeah, exactly. That was 1968. And we can move on and see a picture here. This is the wedding picture back in 19th of April, 1952. And indeed, that is why we are here this weekend, because we want to celebrate this occasion when this family started. This is the wedding day, and you see my father and my mother, Shosho and Ka, the minister who presided over their wedding ceremony, Reverend Wanji, the two flower girls, including Nyawera, who is right now there being made up by Auntie Beth. That's the flower girl that you see here. And next to Shushu is her brother, Uncle Wangombe. And right here we see another flower girl. This is Faith, and we expect her to be with us this weekend. And behind my father is the best man. This gentleman was called Jogu Kenini, and two of my father's very good friends. To the left here is, gosh, the name is escaping me, but on the right is Mr. Kiama. Oh yes, the left here is Waruthingo, and this is Mama Faith. Faith, she is the mother of this girl. And some of the others, I can't remember their names. 19th of April, 1952. This is the couple of the day, my father. And you certainly can see that that gene from my father is strong. It's quite a resemblance of Maranga, Manuel, Roy, that you can see. I think there's quite a bit of James as well. Yeah. Again, 19th of April 1952. This is my father, Luca. Now, my father passed on back on the 2nd of December 1989. So indeed, this celebration is 37 years since he left us. And when he left us, he had been married to our mother for 37 years. And so this is a very significant occasion as we remember my father and of course celebrate my mother and their union from which we have come from. And as you can see here, it's written, "We are one in the spirit." He loved that song. We are one in the spirit, we are one in the Lord. He loved that song, and he always wanted us to sing that song every time we came together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is the certificate of Shosho. She went to Israel, and from that trip, you get this certificate to show that you've been to the Holy Land. And there it says pilgrim certificate. By this attestation, be it known that Helinah Wanjugu Maranga, by virtue of fulfilling the biblical calling, has ascended to Jerusalem, the holy city, capital of Israel, and is henceforth authorized to bear the title of Jerusalem Pilgrim. I can't say what that is about.
It's a certification of participation and appreciation from the PCA Wanjugu.
Oh yes, so that's another certificate given to Shosho. A certificate of appreciation for her ministry and her service within the PCA Wanjugu parish. And right next to it is another certificate. This is a very old certificate. It was issued to Shosho back in 1960. And this is after attending a training with the Maendeleo ya Wanawake organization, an organization that continues to be quite active in the country, and she was one of the very first people to participate in the trainings that were done by Maendeleo ya Wanawake. This is before independence, so that goes, a way back. And I remember when she came from this particular training, we were little, and she came with many toys. It's the first time I saw like a bear and some sort of stuffed rabbits. And it was such great fun and joy to have these toys because they were quite novel. And having come from that training, she was exposed to a whole lot, and we benefited from, toys that were not so common back then. That's to show she's a member of the Women's Guild. This is a women's association within the PCA Church, and she's been an active member, including being in the National Leadership Committee at one stage, and very respected within that organization, which is very committed to service to people in the church and in the community. Here there's a picture. This picture was presented to us by the Waruthingo family. And in the wedding picture, we saw Waruthingo, the gentleman that is standing next, to the right of my father. They were, people from the same Rika, same age, and they had a very, very strong relationship. And after my father had passed on and Mr. Waruthingo had passed on, our two families would meet from time to time. This was presented when the Waruthingo family came to visit us here, just to acknowledge that special relationship that had existed from the time my father and Mr. Waruthingo were young men. And here we have Maranga Njoroge on his wedding day to Benin, standing there with Shosho. Beautiful. Here we got a picture. This picture was taken in the United States during a visit that we made to go and see Muya when he was going to a university at La Roche University in Pittsburgh. And I remember we went out and then just entered a studio and took that picture. Lovely memories. And another picture of Maranga on his wedding day to Benin, with people rejoicing, holding Benet's hand, and Shosho. And right next here is Tim. Tim, Auntie Wangari's son. He lives in America. He's been in America now for a good number of years. And this picture was taken during his graduation that we attended at La Roche University in Pittsburgh. And there is a picture of Shosho in a number of occasions.
The 25th anniversary celebrations of the PCA Kenya Region Women's Guild Convention.
Aha. Yeah. And right next to that picture is Shosho and Auntie Wambui. This was taken during Auntie Wambui's graduation. And I remember this graduation because I was quite emotional. This graduation and Auntie Wangu's graduation were done after my father had passed on. And I just remember thinking how proud my father would have been to see them graduate, because Auntie Wambui is the second last, Auntie Wambui is the last born and Wambui is the second last. And, by the time my father passed on, I believe he was just thinking, because he had been ailing, wondering whether his children, if he was not around, would be able to get the opportunity to go through school to graduating. And indeed, they graduated. So during this time, my thoughts were going back, to think about my father and thinking how proud he would have been to see them graduate. And I decided I'll take his place and feel that pride. So that's that picture. So this photo, you see Shosho here. And this photo was taken by James, who is doing this video that captures, this Shosho in her element. Shosho is a person who loves to engage with people. She loves to socialize, to mobilize, to inspire. And as you can see her standing there, it captures that energy. And this was taken during James's art.
So I presented it during my art gallery, but this photo was taken during Auntie Mariamo and Uncle Dennis's 40th anniversary.
Yes.
So this was Shosho talking to Shala, the three daughters, Shala, Gloria, and Shara. The most impactful thing about this photo is it's the first time I took a photo of Shosho with my very own camera, the camera that's photographing this right now.
Yeah.
And to me, it was so special.
Yes.
And I knew now during my gallery, this photo had to be exhibited.
Yeah.
And after that, I wanted it to come and hang over here. And
yes.
Mentally, I knew I wanted it to be on this wall.
Yes.
So yesterday when I walked in and I saw it on this wall, I was like, yes, they got the placement correct. So this, I'm very proud. At least I have a piece of my art on this illustrious wall.
Excellent. I hope that was recorded.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, excellent. I think that's very well said, and it captures exactly what this picture is about. And I just add that we are proud of James and his skill in this area, his passion in this area of trying to capture moments and to archive those moments and to document the history of the family and those special moments. Well done, James.
Thank you.
And up there we see Uncle Dennis, Auntie Mariam.
The people you were talking about.
That's
So
right.
this is now their wedding.
That's right. And the next, another portrait of Shusho. I forget about what year that was taken, but it's right next to a portrait of her mother. This is, yes,
Maito.
this is your Maito now. This is my show.
Your Shusho.
My Shusho. This is Nyagudie Wagidedo, my grandmother, my mother's mother. And as you can see, you know, even at this stage, she was fairly advanced in age, but just like Shusho, they've got a full face, you know, hardly any lines. And she was a wonderful woman, full of joy. I remember many times when they would come to visit here, and as soon as they came through that gate, they would be singing to Kute, Tenderesa, yeah, Yesu, Yesu, Mwana, Gwendiga. Yeah. So it's good to see Shosho there.
She looks like Shusho's sister.
Yeah, that's right. She looks very much like Auntie Nyokabi. So this picture is taken outside the Supreme Court in Nairobi, and as I can see here, Dennis and Auntie Mariam and family. This must be on the occasion of Sharon's admission to the bar, and she is there in her legal garb. And what a proud moment. And Shosho was there to witness that occasion. What a joy. And out there, we have a picture of Auntie Wango, our last born, on her graduation day. And Shosho looking like a girl. They almost look like sisters. Yeah. And this is the moment that I was talking about. Again, looking at Auntie Wango, who was the last born, who went through school, a significant part of her school, when my father had already rested. And what a proud moment it was for me to see that, in spite of the fact that our father wasn't around, God had been gracious, and the last born in the family had been able to go through school and graduate at university. And as we know, she's gone on to become a PhD holder and head of the Department of Literature at the University of Nairobi, sitting on the seat that Professor Ngugi wa Thiong'o, the celebrated author, sat. It's quite a feat, and we thank God for his goodness. And to the right is Uncle Ndugu and Auntie Leah. And Uncle Ndugu is wearing his priestly robes. Uncle Ndugu, as you know, is a Presbyterian minister who's been very committed in serving the Lord and doing the work of the Lord. And that's my sister, my elder sister, who in many respects has been like a twin sister to me. We were very close since we were little, and we were close in age, and almost everything that we did together. And I always saw my elder sister as a twin sister. That's right. That's her there. And once again, I say that we never fought. We've never fought from when we were children. Even the little fights that children have. That's right. Amen. Yeah.
Now it's final certificates.
Yeah, what are these about? Certificate of
Appreciation.
Yeah.
All of them are just certificates.
All right, so more certificates of appreciation for Shusho and her work in the church. She's been an exemplary leader when it comes to serving the church and the community. I mean, she just is a leading light in that area. And you can see that is captured in the many certificates of appreciation that she's been given. It's one picture. Yeah. This picture shows Guka, Harrison Maranga to the left. And Guka, my father, was a sawmiller. He owned sawmills and would make timber. And this is in one of the sawmills. And there's a visit from either the provincial commissioner or the district commissioner. Most likely it was the provincial commissioner, the one with the administrative sort of uniform. And to the right was a very eloquent and well-known politician at that time, MP from Nyeri, called Waroru Kanja. So Waroru Kanja there, the provincial commissioner, my father, and this is
Kiana.
This is Kiana. Yeah, it was my father's business partner. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've gone around this room here, and this room indeed captures just a snippet of the rich history of this family, the family of Harrison Maranga and Helinah Wanjugu. And it evokes a lot of memory, just looking around the pictures that we've gone through and others that we didn't have the time to go through. And I hope it helps you to just capture a little bit about who we are and what this family is. Thank you.
Any words to future generations that will never maybe meet some of the people here in this photos?
Yes. My parents were people of integrity. My parents were people that were committed to the unity of the family. They were committed to loving one another and helping one another. And it is my prayer that the succeeding generations will uphold those values, the values of integrity and togetherness and love and commitment, and seeking what is good, for each other. That is what I pray for, and that's what I wish for our children, our children's children, and all the generations that will come after us.
Bye.
So, yeah.
Let's wish Christmas blessings on them.
So bye-bye, God's blessing. It's a joy just being able to have this little chat with you and tell you a little about this family. Well done, and God bless.
So I'm headed to the grave of my grandfather. It's above there, at the top of a hill. I can see some weaver birds eating what it looks like beans or leaves. No, there's no weaver birds. It's another type of bird that were killed when I was at my house. So yes, this is Harrison Maranga's grave. As we've all known and seen, I've grown up coming to this grave. I remember the first time I noticed it, I was like 6 or a bit younger, and I was so scared to come here. I used to ask my mom to bring me up here, and she used to bring me up. It was only until I was in my double digits that I became confident enough to walk up here. So yeah, from 1927 to 1989, 2nd December. Let's try not butchering this Kikuyu. Wiria Yokete ne ona akwa no agatura mu John 11:25. So yes, this is the grave of my grandfather, Helinah Maranga Mutuaruhiu. And this is the homestead that they built. This is the home that my mother grew up in. My uncles and aunties also grew up in. And I have a major affinity towards. So yes, the heritage of our motherlands, so perfectly showcased by this shot.